Hello everybody, welcome back to Witchfix. Today's a very exciting day because it's finally here. You might have seen this if you saw my second stuff I've been buying video, which came out probably a while ago by the time this video also comes out. But volume 3 of Black Magick just dropped and I had it pre-ordered, so it came. I was so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long, years. I think at this point. Black Magick, in case you haven't seen episodes on volumes 1 and 2, is a comic series by Image by Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott. It is about a witch cop who is also a Wiccan, which is slightly confusing. So, like, she's a real witch, but she also practices Wicca, and she's a cop. Those three things. It's been so long since I read the first 2 volumes that I actually had to go back and listen to my own videos to remind me of, like, the plot. So basically, in volume 1, there's a murder that she's asked to investigate. Things get progressively weirder. She finds that she's being attacked by demons and also a witch hunting group called Era who are after her and want to know what's going on because she's then suspected of being involved in another murder via officer-involved shooting. So there's lots of contradicting forces around, and Rowan Black, the main character, is just trying to navigate those and get to the bottom of what's going on. And at the end of volume 2, the main demon lady, who is sort of a peroxide blonde with an undercut and a long white coat, appears to Rowan and says that what she wants of Rowan is for her to just use her power, her will, if you will. And that's all she wants. She wants Rowan to give in to her power and not be bound by, I guess, rules or morals, but just to use magic and be the witch that she can be. Another feature of the series is that Rowan and her coven sister Alexandria are aware of their past lives as witches. They have this kind of encyclopedic knowledge of their own past existences, which builds up obviously over time and gives them a lot of wisdom and a lot of encounters to remain wary of, specifically with witch hunters. At the end of the last volume, also, Rowan's partner, who she kind of had romantic feelings for, but he is married and his wife has just had a baby. There was some tension there. He tells her that he doesn't want to work with her anymore because he believes that she might have been involved in these murders and he can't take the risk of being involved in something like that. So he declared kind of a lack of faith in her, and this made her lash out, and after he'd gone she like blew up a candle or something in her house and then seemed surprised. So she has begun to use her powers in ways that the demons would be happy about. Volume 3 is basically this, but continued to its logical conclusion. So we were introduced to another new character who's Rowan's new partner, a new detective who she begins to have a romantic relationship with. This detective is a woman, so it's quite interesting that we see the bisexual side of Rowan in this comic. It's always interesting when characters aren't just, straight. Just a bit of representation in that. The demon also pays her several visits, telling her to use her will, to actually use her magic. And her friend Alex becomes progressively more concerned about Rowan, her magic use, because it seems like her house is covered in the scent of demons and magic. But Alex is also going into a sexual relationship, with one of the guys from Era, Laurent, who seems to be like one of their chief members. But in past volumes he has seemed at least sympathetic to witches. He understands that there are good witches and there are bad witches, that witches aren't just automatically evil, which is a view that some other people don't share in this incarnation of Black Magick, because another member of Era, Stefan, a sort of blonde hulk of a man, has kind of gone rogue, and he seeks in this installment not just to kill Alex for, I guess, her relationship with Laurent, but also to kill her completely to the point where she will not regenerate, much like the Doctor. She won't have any more future incarnations of herself, using an ancient ritual apparently devised by witches themselves, maybe as some sort of punishment. So she's in grave danger. There's also Rowan in danger from like demonic influence. She has this burgeoning new relationship with her new partner at work. And then by the end of this volume, Rowan has to make a choice. The demon causes her to have a motorcycle accident and she's lying bleeding in the road and being taunted, use your power. You could go back in time and make this accident never happen. You could heal yourself right now if you only have the strength of will. And Rowan won't do that. She just lies there and is like, I'm prepared to die. And then the demon reveals to her that her new partner is trapped in a fire, and also Alex has been hunted down by Stefan and is about to undergo this horrifying ritual. And to save them, she decides to tap into her power. And that's where we leave Rowan on the final page. What I found really interesting about this is we kind of cut to the scenes where the fire crew have just shown up to an apartment that is no longer on fire, appears to have not been even touched by fire. And Alex is about to be shot in this magic circle by Stefan, but then he disappears. Like, his gun just hits the ground, and she's like, what the fuck? And then in the final last panel, we see Rowan completely in colour, which most of the comic is in black and white, except for the occasional wisp of magic and magic symbols which glow colours. But Rowan is in complete colour, and a cloud of colour seems to extend out of her into the world. So she is filled with magic. Magic is everywhere around her, which was a really interesting art choice, I think. And also we've seen her using her power more at work to force confessions from people who are guilty, but they're not confessing under their own free will. So she's not obeying harm none, is what the demon kind of puts to her. She's already come this far doing these things at work to get to the bottom of crimes, so she can go further. And Rowan is definitely apparently in turmoil. She's drinking a lot. She doesn't want to take part in Beltane. She goes home annoyed and smashes stuff. I think this is kind of her crisis point, and she's just tipped over into absolute catastrophe. So now I am left excited for volume 4, which God willing will come soon, because I am really excited to read it. One of the things I find so frustrating about reading graphic novels is how quickly you could read them. Because obviously they're not like books that take quite a long time to read, at least for me. But I can read a graphic novel in half an hour when it's one of these thicker volumes. And then you're left waiting so long for the next one to come out. So I'm not hugely a fan of that. I know I could buy individual issues and read them, but it makes more sense for me to just wait for the collected edition to come out. So I'm really excited to see part 4, whether that will be the last part, the second to last part. I don't know how long this series is going to go on for, and it's quite exciting. But I do definitely recommend reading this series, especially now there's 3 volumes out. There's plenty to get your teeth into. You can order them basically anywhere. I pre-ordered mine through Amazon. So it's really worth giving it a read. There's so much interesting stuff going on in there that I think every time I've had to reread them to review the next part, I've noticed something else, something different. The artwork is really amazing, and I'm really liking the character development and the inclusion of new characters and new relationships. So can't recommend it enough. This and Coffin Hill, I think, remain some of my favourite comic books that I've looked at for the podcast. So give both of those a look. Listen to the episodes on those if you'd like to hear a little bit more about them. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next one.